Our children, they don't need a cruise director. And I love being a cruise director with trips and stuff. I'm like, yeah, this way we're going to have so much fun today. And I just feel like that every second of the day needs to be fun and be exciting. And that's not the case. They need a regulated mom. All right. Hello. Well, hello, everybody. We are back. How are you, ladies? Good morning.
We're good. Good morning. So excited to be back.
Yes, and everyone out there listening, welcome back to the Regulated Realtors. Today, we're going to talk about something that has absolutely nothing to do with buying and selling houses, but everything to do with the people living inside of them. So what are we going to talk about today, ladies?
Summer.
It reminds me of Elsa and, the summer song from Frozen. But yeah, as moms, we wait all year for it. And then about 2 weeks in, we're looking around, asking ourselves, why are we so exhausted? So today we're actually going to talk about what summer does to our nervous systems, our expectations, and how we can actually enjoy the season instead of just surviving it. When summer starts, what changes inside of you? And not the schedule, but actually inside of you. Jen, we'll let you kick it off.
Oh, that's a good question. I love this question, Courtney. I feel like the schoolgirl, like inside of me, I feel like I'm about to be so free and it's going to be the best and we're going to do all these fun things. And then it's like the rudest awakening when it's like, oh crap, that is what I want it to be for my children. But this is, hustle time for us. This is whenever we have to really get super organized and get everything on a routine and a schedule so that we can be the people we promised our clients to be and the people we promised our household to be. So it's like, I feel like a drill sergeant in my head every morning, like, Jen, no. Jen, yes.
Yeah, Jen, yes. And then you have these, little ones saying, what are we doing today? What are we doing today?
Every single day.
What are we eating today?
Right.
I don't know
What's
about y'all,
the plan?
but what's the plan? So
Yep.
we kind of feel responsible for everyone's happiness around us. Of course, like you said, including our clients.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's so true.
So planning isn't just about controlling everyone, though. It's actually about regulating everyone. So Jen, kind of dive deeper into that and how you do that with your family.
The regulation piece, yes. Okay, that is such a good point you said about what everybody wanting the plan. I think that it's so fun, especially my husband and I, we're very spur of the moment people. Like we find a lot of joy in just being spontaneous. We moved to New York City right after we got married. We're like, what else can we do that's just like so fun? Adventure is one of our family values. And so for years, I put off planning and structuring summer because I thought it couldn't be that way. And when we homeschooled 2 years ago, I learned that is so false. It's like the truth where you feel so much more safe when you have the boundaries of expectation and planning. So regulation at my house looks like a very set schedule. There's activities that they can choose from through the morning. Our town has Kids Bowl Free. I don't know if y'all's do, but Kids Bowl Free is the website. You can look on that website and see all the states across the country that do it. And it's certain times throughout the week that you can go and bowl free. If you had your own bowling shoes, it would be actually free, but we have to rent shoes every time. But that's just one of them. Our movie theater offers free movies twice a week. We have a really great health club, the largest in Louisiana. It has the most fun pool and splash pad that we're members of, and a couple other parks that have splash pads. So I wrote on the list all the things that they can do in the morning. Be gone, be out of the house by in between 8 and 12, be out of the house. Do not come back until lunch. And yes, eat lunch at home. We are not doing lunch out every single day.
We are not going to Chick-fil-A every day.
Mm-hmm. No, ma'am.
Starbucks in my house. My kids love Starbucks.
Yes, me too, but I'm a working girl, so that's why I can't.
That's right.
Oh, I love that.
And then they get home, they eat lunch, they have quiet time. My daughter, this summer will be irrepeatable because she's going to college, and this is the last kind of summer that she's with them. So she's acting as like the counselor, camp counselor. She's the one driving them to the activities, coming home. After lunch, she reads a chapter of a book. They're reading Trumpet of the Swans right now, which I read to her when she was like their age, which is just so sweet. And then they have an hour of quiet time. And that is a huge part of the regulation piece, in my opinion, this summer, because it stays dark so late here. What time does it get dark in y'all's areas?
Like 9:30.
I was just gonna
9:30?
say, it's like 9 o'clock right now.
9 o'clock.
around.
Really? Okay, us
Yeah.
it's 8:30. That makes sense because y'all are a little bit past. So they're out until then. Like they don't come back until the street lights come on. So that's the only piece of the day
They
that
need
it's
that
like
daytime. Yeah,
exactly.
That is awesome.
that's smart.
That is, how did you change from, because you said that y'all were so spontaneous, how did, it was because of homeschooling that you kind of put all of this into play?
Yes, because of the chaos that I felt inside. And I think even if you're not a high D or a high goal woman, high achieving woman, I think everyone just kind of has that safety feeling of expectations and boundaries. And so when we homeschooled and we didn't have that, and it was like, is there work done? What do we need to do today? It didn't feel free. It sounds free, but it did not feel free.
Did not feel free. Yeah.
I would not function, guys.
No.
I would not function.
No, you would not, Jennifer.
I would not.
Which brings
That would
me
not work for
to,
me.
which brings me to my next point. Jennifer, you are naturally very organized. So do you find during the summer that it's energizing because you can create structure, or is it stressful because everything changes and now you have this new schedule that you're working with?
It's so stressful for me every time summer rolls around, and I was like determined that this year was not going to be the year that it did that to me. But I think every year brings like new challenges, right? Like your kids are growing up, like my kids are getting older, and it's constantly like, what friend can come over, who can do this, like I want to go do that, and like they have no idea of like what goes on. So what I'm really trying to do, speaking of structure, is just setting like the tone for the day, right? Like we kind of talk on Sunday nights, or I'm trying to be really good on Sunday nights, just talking about our schedule, like what's my husband's schedule for the week, what's my schedule for the week, and really trying to like make that daily routine. Like my son, I'm trying to make sure, my daughter reads at night, but like making sure my son reads before he picks up an iPad. They have chores in the morning, so making that morning time like the time where we get things done, right? Like we have breakfast, we read, we do a chore, we can have a little iPad time in between. And then, moving in the afternoon, they can expect that I can come home, or I'll be home as long as I don't have something for work. Like I'm trying to set that, like I'll be in the office in the mornings and I'll be around in the afternoon. And I think one really big thing, which I wanted to do it all, right? I wanted to be the mom that did it all. And I think really realizing that like accepting help, like if, my husband will be around, or if like my mom lives with us. So like letting my mom take that, like it's hard because the kids think grandma's fun and it's not like structure, right? So we got to set those boundaries, but like just accepting like my mom's got this, right? Like, it'll be what it'll be, right?
That's
like
right.
I've got to get work done in the morning. And so letting go of that control, that's part of me regulating through, and just like letting that help, accepting that help.
That's so good. I think we've all struggled with that. The biggest part of this past year with being in Emily's challenge and just being more focused on the nervous system is, number one, letting go of the control and it being okay. And like you said, letting your mom, it is what it is. They're going to be safe, and that they're going to be happy. And at the end of the day, that's all we can ask for.
Right.
So yeah, you're giving yourself permission that if everything doesn't end up perfect, it's okay. It's so just being intentional about your structure, but also knowing that there's beauty in that too. So that's great.
And like spending this time with them, right? Like you said, Jen, your daughter's going off to college. Like we blink and this time flies. And so I'm really trying to be intentional about like the afternoons and, doing, it's not like we're going to do something fun every day where we're going out and spending money. Like you said, finding different things to do, but like just connecting with them. And it doesn't have to be the full day of us connecting. It could be an hour or two, just at the, what we've been doing actually, if everybody's around. My husband and I have been going for a walk at the end of the day, but if everybody's around, we'll all come. So it's like my second release for the day, just to, because I regulate at the beginning of the day, I need to get it in at the end of the day, but it really does help. It's like just resetting, right? And just kind of, but like connecting with them, because this time does fly, right?
It really
It's
does.
so
I can't
true.
believe yours, Jen. So in the crazy world that we live in our career of real estate, how do you pivot on those nights that you might have a showing, or you might have something that we all know can come up last minute? How do you kind of regulate through those, both of y'all, in those moments of, "Ugh, I just really want to, I'm supposed to be connecting with my family, but right now, is it just one of those situations you just can't?"
I think for me, like, they know that that's just the nature. I think they've realized over the years that's the nature of the business, right? And so, like, just letting them know that, setting that expectation up front, like, hey, showings might arise or something might arise with a client where I have to come in, my home office and get on the phone or negotiate or be out physically and have a showing. And so we try to, like, they're really good at pivoting, but just like letting them know, is giving them as much notice as possible, I think, so they know what the plan is. I think just setting their expectations is key to not
That's a really good point.
chaos ensue.
It's true.
Having
And
it.
self-compassion is a huge piece of this, I think. We are so hard on ourselves, either on purpose or even subconsciously. Because I find myself beating myself up and I'm like, whoa, who are you talking to up there? Who are you talking? You wouldn't talk to your friends like this.
Exactly. Bring it. When we start spiraling, we got to regulate and bring it. We're returning. So that's awesome. I love that you actually say, whoa, we're not going there today. We are not going there today. So bringing into confession time, that kind of brings us into that. What's one moment so far this summer where you thought, I am absolutely not the mom I wanted to be at the start of summer, or that I imagined I would be? Have you had one of those moments? Hopefully, you haven't, but I know I have had several that I'm not proud of. But what about you girls?
I think they happen weekly, or daily, maybe. Listen, yeah, like, we're all real, right? Like, this is real. This, just because we regulate doesn't mean that life is 50-50. Emily always says, right? Like, so these situations are going to happen. The showings are going to come up, and we're going to we're going to ultimately feel like we're not doing this as we thought we would. Right. Mm-hmm. Or, like I said, we're trying to plan on Sundays for the week ahead, but it's not always going to be perfect. Mm-hmm. And I think, like we touched on before, just letting go of, it's not going to be perfect and it's okay. Mm-hmm. And being able to, I think, because we are regulated, we are able to hit those moments with, okay, we're not perfect. Life is 50-50 and we're going to just go get them tomorrow.
That's right.
And just
go get
reset,
'em.
right? And we're going to reset.
Yeah. You have to. You just have to keep reminding yourself just to reset. When you're overstimulated and you snap, or I started feeling so guilty not too long ago. We were at a water park and I literally was outside talking on the phone for majority of it. Just something, it was one of those situations that we had something come up in a transaction and I had to talk right then. And I came back in and I was so concerned. I asked my husband, I was like, are they okay? Are they okay? Like, is everybody okay? He said, they're playing. It's okay. They hardly even knew you were gone. They didn't even notice.
Yeah, I was just going to say, they didn't even notice you were gone.
And I'm like, I was literally freaking out inside. And they didn't even know, that I was really away. But I think it's just missing those moments. But like you said, realizing that we cannot be in two places at one time, but setting those expectations, and when things come up, okay, resetting ourselves and rejoining whatever magical moment, because summer is, we want to experience it. We don't just want to survive it. We want to actually experience the moments. And it's not going to be 24/7 of experiencing those moments.
Court, I love how you checked in with your husband. That is so good. Part of that middle ventral state is connection. So when you are feeling like dysregulated and you're like feeling guilty and all the things are swirling in your head, you knew what to do to go back and connect with him. And he put you in check. That's beautiful.
He really did. And he does all the time. And I praise the Lord for that. But it is, I went right to him and I was like, what do we do? What do we do? So it's just having that partner, which y'all both have wonderful partners too. And it's a team, and it is literally teamwork with your kids too. Like you said, in the mornings you wake up and they're part of your team. In this career that we have, we're all working together. It's not just us versus the world. You really are creating a team with your family and your friends, and then understanding.
Yeah. What would you say for a single mom? So like they may have complete control over their life some part of the month, but then they are so low for some part of the month. How would you recommend that they regulate in that specific moment, Courtney, whenever they had to run out? What would you say to a single mom?
I mean, other than turning on our podcast and letting us help you regulate.
That's true. We are your girls.
We're your girls. Finding that one person, whether it be your best friend or a mentor in the business, having that one person that you feel, and again, understanding that not everyone has maybe that one mentor or that girlfriend to call, but, finding something or just stepping outside and taking a deep breath.
Deep breath. I was just going to say,
just deep breath.
Coming into that situation and coming back to see, like, looking around, seeing that your kids are having fun and they are okay, and just like taking it in, like, like they're okay. They're us okay. Putting that pressure on ourselves. So it's really, like you said, taking a deep breath and really bringing it back, right? And then sitting down and like seeing that they're okay. And then just, I do the breathing technique a lot, even on my walks.
Tell us about that.
Does everybody do that? Yes. Yes. And that's lead us into the next one is regulation isn't staying calm all the time. It's returning. And what's one way, Jennifer, that you do that is by walking.
By walking, yep. Mm-hmm. And then even sometimes I can feel like, I don't know why, but I start the day on high. Like I feel like, because it's like all the things I have to do for the day.
That. Oh, yeah.
So when I start my walk, I start my breathing. So it's just breathing in, holding it, and then letting it go. And it really just resets your mind. And I do that multiple times so that it feels almost as if I reset, just taking a step back. Everything's okay. Like I said, scanning the room, scanning like what's going on around you, and just scanning your environment and knowing that you're okay.
Yeah. Reminding yourself that you're safe. That's all our brains need. Our nervous system just needs to know it. For some reason, we have to remind ourselves that. It doesn't feel that way. But feelings are so fickle. The emotions fly so fast. So it's a bad thing, but it's also a really good thing. Doing those techniques, going outside, breathing, looking at the sky, and just realizing that you're safe. Like the kids are safe, you're safe, we're okay, we're safe.
Yeah. Touch the grass.
Everything's okay.
And I feel like summer is, you have to touch grass. And summer is a natural high. And like you said, we as agents, we wake up on a high anyway. And so then you've got this high of summer. Do you girls ever feel that at the end of the day, you just crash? I mean, you just can't do anything else. Jen, you're shaking your head like, yep.
That was actually gonna be my confession. I thought I was gonna like slide by that and not have to confess.
No, but we're confession. This is a confessional, Jen. You go in no judgment. So
I feel like I've provided. Thank y'all. I feel like I've provided the safest, funnest possible summer for my littles. But my two bigs, my 16 and 18-year-old, I feel like I'm so disconnected from them because, the 18-year-old wakes up early to watch the littles, but the 16-year-old sleeps a little later, and then he goes and works, and then he comes back, and he goes and does his thing. And by the time I am done and I can hang out with him, it feels like so much work to go, and he's also a melancholic, so it's more like you have to kind of pry information out of him. He's a great listener. If you need to offload, he's your guy. But he's not gonna really offload on you. So it's like hard to like get to know him. And so many times at night, 3:00 in the morning, or even at my normal wake up time, I'm like feeling so guilty about the lack of connection I have with the 16 and the 18-year-old. So every day I'm like, okay, keep up the energy, go and find him. And what I'm realizing, just saying this out loud to you guys, is that I'm making it a much bigger thing than it has to be.
I was just going to say, it's probably not as big of a deal to them as you're making it. Like you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself that you're not connecting with them, but they probably, I can imagine, Jen, that they absolutely think you are connecting with them. Mm-hmm. But one thing I was thinking of as you were saying that, like, would you ever go on a family walk at night? I know it's hot down there, but like, does it cool down enough at night to like do a 15-minute?
That's a really good idea. I would love to take my 16-year-old on a walk. The sunsets in Louisiana are so gorgeous.
You need to share those.
I will share that. I'll put it on the Insta today. The red light is so good for our systems, of course, just from the sunset. but that would be a really good time. And he would never tell me no. He's too kind. So, I love
Maybe
that.
even, like I said, even if it's just 15 minutes, I know it's hot, but like, it's so nice to like unwind at the end of the day and just then you're not going to go to bed thinking I didn't do enough. I didn't, you know what I mean? Even if it's like,
you
just
don't
that
even
little
have
bit
to
of
talk.
connection.
Yeah, you can just walk, just being
something
walking
you do
side by
together.
side. Yeah. And I think it's just so normal that we do crash out. And the goal isn't perfection, but the goal is noticing sooner so that we can repair it quicker. You know, like you said, all right, I'm having this issue, it's waking me up. I'm putting this mom guilt on myself. So you're aware of that, and now you're getting advice and trying to think of ways to repair that, which that's awesome. And
for awareness is the first step, right? Like Emily always says, like being aware is so crucial to your journey, right? So, and I know you're a good mom and I know you connect with them. So like, don't put that on yourself. But I do think if you're looking for other ways, I think, like I said, maybe a walk or just asking them like, what's something fun that you could do just with them too? And get a babysitter for the littles, right? And maybe you set something fun to like look up, for them to look forward to.
Yeah.
Well, I have an idea what the 16-year-old would say. Let's go get our nails done. That's what she would say. I mean, the 18-year-old, the 16-year-old boy would definitely not say that.
I was just going to say, wait, I thought your son was a 16-year-old. Okay.
Yeah, she's like, I'll go get my nails done.
Yeah,
Do that.
every single week. Let's do it.
But that's nice. That's
nice.
Sure.
That's something you do together.
That's right. Yeah. And get you out and get you talking. And I know we've kind of hit a few little highlights, but if you could pick one thing that helps you regulate during the summer, what would it be? I know, Jennifer, it's your walks, but Jen, what's one thing that you might do in the morning that helps you stay regulated through the day?
For me, silence, right? First thing in the morning, just going sit outside with my Bible, with just silence. I love that. And the second part would be a structured routine. That's so safe for me.
Yeah, I need to do better at that. And so you just have it all like posted in the kitchen, or tell us a little bit more about the schedule.
Well, I'll let her run the show on that. But yeah, when you
Your
wake
18-year-old?
up,
Okay.
they don't have TV until essentially when I get home at 2, so I can gather like dinner and all the things. Between 2 and 3 is whenever I get home. They can have a little bit of screen time, and then they go outside and they play with the friends. They find all the things to do. Sometimes we'll go swimming together at Red's, but I'll let her kind of handle that day schedule. For me, Wes and I, we leave the house around 7 to go to the gym. Then we go straight to the office, and then we're here doing appointments, running the roads until we get back home. So it's like, PC. It's kind of like a rough block schedule.
Rough. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. But silence, and like you said, you go into the gym. That is your thing. And I don't know if you've listened to our past podcast, but Jenn actually does a little nerve. What's the thing about the equipment that you?
Oh, yeah. My nervous system.
Your nervous
checklist. Yes.
Checklist?
I will walk away from the equipment piece and do a set of stairs, so that if someone comes and steals my machine while I'm getting because I really do it to get 3,000 extra steps in a day, but it's a great way to check your nervous system and your need for control if someone takes your machine while you're gone.
I love that. Love that. So let's encourage the mom listening. Maybe she's hiding in her car from everyone for about 5 minutes and you're listening to us. What would you tell her? What would you tell our bestie regulated realtor, our friend out there listening right now?
I would just say, like, do something for you, right? So do something for you so that you can come in, like whether you're coming in at the end of the day, whether you're with your kids all day. So then start your day with something, but do something so that you can be regulated coming into your day. So whether it's a walk, a workout, silence, reading the Bible, journaling. I know a lot of people like to sit down and journal with like a cup of coffee first thing. Set your alarm for, 20 minutes before your kids get up. And I know that sounds like you just want to get all the sleep you can, but really like getting, up a little bit earlier so that you're not waking up when they're waking up and then the day is just like you guys battling each other. So I would say just taking some time for you. And I love the silence thing. I just wanted to note, when I'm driving to showings, I don't care how far they are, I drive in silence.
Oh,
I found myself doing that.
I don't know why. Like, everybody always wants to listen to Be honest, I do listen to our podcast. But
I have
when I'm
found
not
myself
listening
doing
to our
silence.
podcast, yep,
And your brain
really
will
helps.
go wild. Does your brain just not
Yes.
go wild? And
Yeah.
you're like
Oh, it
thinking
does.
of ideas.
It's all over.
And,
It's
yeah,
all
all
over.
over the
Yep.
place. But it's so
Yep.
good. And
It's
I
so
mean,
good.
and we really do set the let's just say temperature, because we're in houses and I like that. We set the temperature for our household, not
Right.
just for our household, for our clients that we're going to come in contact with, and our friends and our coworkers. So I like what you said. It's just starting that day, and it's not every day. We know that you can't do that every single day, and don't get discouraged if you can't. But when you can, and when you can schedule it in, it really will set the tone for the day.
Oh, I love that you said that, Court. I offer a free webinar every week about setting the temperature in your home.
Shut up. And I didn't
Yeah.
even know that.
I love that.
I
Yeah.
send it out to my weekly newsletter. So yeah, anyone is
Okay,
welcome.
yeah.
You
We
should
need-
post it on the Regulated Realtors page too, so that
Yes.
people can join.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah.
And if you don't follow us, go follow at Regulated Realtors.
Yes, absolutely.
And Jen post that. That would be very, very helpful. For
You
the
are
listeners
so
out there.
spot on, Courtney. And I think that this probably has come from everything that we've all learned together. But yeah, we set the temperature in our home. That is 100% true. So like you're saying, Jennifer, taking care of yourself is top priority. And what I would also add on to that is to have compassion for who you are and where you are. It is a hard job that we have. I mean, people make it look like super easy, glitzy, and fun. That's definitely necessary for marketing, but there's so much more than the fun. There's like actual huge weight of people's lives that rely on us. Our clients, that's what most people, this is their biggest asset. So it's a lot of weight to carry. I think having compassion on that, and also knowing where you are in the regulation ladder, and that'll be our next episode. So stay tuned and learn something, because where you are on the ladder helps you to feel compassion about yourself.
Yeah.
And what would you say, Courtney?
Well, our children, and I've called myself this, they don't need a cruise director. And I love being a cruise director with trips and stuff. I'm like, yeah, this way we're going to have so much fun today. And I just feel like that every second of the day needs to be fun and be exciting. And that's not the case. They need a regulated mom. And until I hit the brick wall last year and really started working on myself, like what we've been talking about, I wasn't. I wasn't a regulated mom who they needed to be. And some of their favorite memories won't be at Disney. It's going to be the popsicles in the driveway, the movie nights, or the movie days that they get to go for free. Water balloons. Oh my gosh, my kids are obsessed with water balloons. Just connection beats perfection every time. And I think it's just that sweet reminder to keep telling ourselves that, especially during the hard days of summer. And it does go so fast. So summer isn't a test that we're just trying to pass. It's a season that we're trying to experience. And that's what we want to share with all of you. Do you have anything else that you girls would like to close out with today before we
I think
head
just
out?
because if one day doesn't go your way, or one day is an absolute, crazy day, it doesn't mean you can't reset for the next day. So your whole summer isn't shot because of one day or 1 week. So just give yourself grace. Regulate, do something for yourself, and just start over the next day. And you can implement any of these things at any point throughout the summer. So, and just remember, you don't have to be the cruise director. Right?
That's right. Yep. And in real estate, you do not. And in real estate, we do talk about finding the home that feels right, not just looks right. So your nervous system works the same way. You deserve to feel at home in your own life. And that's where it all starts.
We thought it would be really fun to share some market stats with you guys so that you can see how different our markets are, because we are in 3 different locations. So Jen, what do you have for Louisiana for average sales price, list to sales price ratio, and also days on market?
Okay, so in Lafayette City, not the whole parish of Lafayette, but the city I live in, and just that specific area for June of 2026, our average list price is actually $372, but our average sales price is $335.
Interesting. What do you got, Court, down in South Carolina?
So Greenwood, South Carolina, we are list price $332. Sales price, it's giving me a range, but we're going to say $275. and days on the market around 93.
Wow. You guys are pretty similar.
That's what I was.
I mean, not too far off.
Yeah.
Pretty similar. So I pulled just Newtown because Newtown, Connecticut, just because Fairfield County is wildly different if you go to like lower Fairfield County. So just to keep it simple for ease of the audience and knowing the town that I live in and I service surrounding towns, but our average sales price is $704, $326. Our list to sales price ratio is 100.7. So basically a lot of homes sell over asking, slightly over asking, and our average days on market is 36 days. So
that is so interesting. Yeah, we're not seeing multiple offers. Our sold to list price ratio is 95%. So sellers are still getting about where they want, but we're not seeing multiple offers.
You guys have a lot of inventory from what I gather from where you are. And where I am, we're still like inventory is at an all-time low. So if anything comes on that is like, I'm going to put in quotes, move-in ready, it's multiple offers, right? Maybe it's 3 offers. I mean, we have some on the lower price point, and we can't get anything here in your price point in our town, but like say in the $500,000 price range, maybe 4 to 5, those get, if it's anything nice, they're gone in a weekend.
Are they still waiving inspections and doing crazy things
so
that happen in
sometimes,
COVID?
like if you know that you're multiple offers and there's 5+ offers, there are people that are crazy and waiving inspections. Although we're not seeing that as much. It's more they're going to do inspections for major health safety, right? Like they're not going to nitpick. We're not seeing as much of the crazy waiving, but we are seeing, like I said, we're seeing over asking. It's wild.
That is wild.
It's wild out there. And the national headlines for us do not ring true because we don't have the inventory, right?
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's still a seller's market here for sure.
Wow.
Yeah, we're sitting at 581 active listings. That was for June 2026, but
Just 581?
Just. We have like I don't even know. I would have to pull, but at any given time, like in Newtown, only like 30 to 40 probably.
shut the
Active
front door.
listings. Yeah,
Wow.
it's crazy. It's crazy. There's not enough inventory. Not enough. So we hope you thought that was interesting. We just wanted to share the stats because they are so wildly different, and sometimes the headlines you're seeing don't match with what's happening in our local or hyper local markets. So we thought that would be interesting for you guys to hear. And we'd love for you to share if you're realtors out there servicing an area, like share with us what you've got going on because it's super interesting to me. I don't know about everybody else.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this week, we encourage you to ask yourself one question: what would help me feel a little closer to being regulated today? And maybe it's saying yes, maybe it's saying no, maybe it's putting down your phone, and maybe it's just making a loose plan for tomorrow and not having that structure. But maybe it's taking that 5 quiet minutes before everyone wakes up, like Jenn mentioned, because the temperature of your home doesn't start with your kids, it starts with you. So thank you all so much for joining us this week on The Regulated Realtors, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.